Hi everybody, thanks for joining me again today. We have a special treat that my son is going to come home and be super happy about. We are making white chicken chili today. So for this you need just a simple batch of ingredients which probably are sitting in your pantry right now, and it will actually amaze you at how quickly this dish will come together. So we're going to start with onion, garlic that you see. We have some spices, oregano, chili powder and cumin, and then you'll see your regular salt and pepper, some salsa verde. You'll need some chicken broth. I have homemade broth. You're welcome to use the chicken broth that comes in the can or the box, whatever your preference is. You'll need white cannelli beans. Again, amount will just be determined by what your family preference is. My kids like the beans, so we'll use them. Some olive oil, cream cheese, and corn. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start by dicing these onions. This will be the fragrance part of the meal. We'll get those cooking in the frying pan, and the smells will just make your mouth water from the get-go. This is a simple crock pot meal that once you throw it in the crock pot, you can walk away and come home to a ready cooked meal. So I've got some olive oil, this is what we're using it for, that I'm going to go ahead and put in the frying pan to start warming up. You want about a tablespoon. So as you can see from the start, we've got our onion chopped. We're going to take it to our frying pan. We've got our oil in the frying pan heating up. We're going to take our chopped onion. We're going to go ahead and put that in there. We have our 2 cloves of garlic. We're going to go ahead and mince them and throw it in the pot as well. We're just going to go ahead and saute these until they brown a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and continue to stir, and I can already smell the onions and the garlic. You can see the garlic is getting brown, and the onions are starting to soften as well. Now the next step is optional. If you have the time to go ahead and mix the seasoning in with these onions and the garlic so that the flavor all combines and sort of cooks together, go for it. If you cannot, you can immediately transfer these onions to the crock pot and just add the seasoning there. But we are going to go ahead, add the seasoning to this combination so that it can all cook together. We're going to start with 1 teaspoon oregano. We have 1 teaspoon chili powder. If you like a little heat, you can add more. 1 teaspoon ground cumin. Okay, and then all you're going to do is stir this combination around for 30 seconds so that everything gets absorbed, nothing burns. Oh my gosh. You should smell the scent that's coming off of this right now. Getting everything nice and mixed up. Looks delicious, doesn't it? Yeah. Ready to transfer to the crock pot. So walk with me to the crock pot and we'll start combining ingredients there. So we're going to go ahead and transfer the onions to the crock pot bowl. The aroma is amazing. So we're going to start with all that. We're going to add our salt and pepper, just a sprinkle of salt. Add less than a half teaspoon of pepper. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do, it's really just this easy. We're going to add the rest of our ingredients. So when you're cooking in a crock pot, the amount of fluid that you're going to need is less than what you would be using if you were to cook on the actual stove, because the steam creates the moisture that you need. So what we're gonna do is go with 1 cup of this chicken broth. And I'm actually going to pour the chicken broth in the pan. We now have measured out 1 cup of the chicken broth. What I'm gonna do is take it and pour it into the pot that we just mixed all that scrumptious seasoning in, and let it pick up all those flavors instead of wasting it. And then we'll just toss it in there with the rest of the chicken broth. So that's a little more than 1 cup of chicken broth. Again, homemade or boxed is fine. The next thing you're gonna go ahead and do is add in the rest of the ingredients, which includes the chicken. We have some salsa verde. You can use green chilies if you want. My son does not like those. He doesn't like seeing those, so we're gonna go ahead and just add that on our own. So we have a 1/2 cup of the salsa verde. Make sure we can get it all in there. We're going to go ahead and add corn. So you're looking for 2 cups corn. Steam or frozen works fine. You can also use canned if you want. Just about 2 cups. You can throw that in there. It's really just a dump it all in and go kind of dish. Go ahead and add your chicken. Now it's your choice of chicken. I have rotisserie chicken left over, which is this. You're free to use chicken breast and just let it cook up while the whole dish is cooking, which will give it more flavor. Or you can use canned chicken, whatever you're in the mood for. But however you're doing it, I go ahead and just shred it into pieces from the get-go. This will not need to cook as long because it is cooked chicken. So I am going to cook it on low for that purpose so that we don't dry anything out. So as you can see, this is the majority of our ingredients. Now, depending on how soft you like those beans, you can put those beans in now, or you can wait until closer to the end of cook time. We'll go ahead and put them in now. The cream cheese, we'll put in 3 ounces of that when it's closer to the cook time as well. So everyone loves this dish. It's healthy, it's delicious, it takes minimal time to prep, and at the end you'll have some happy campers. Now while this is cooking, if you're out and about, if you want to run out and get some tortilla chips, my kids love to eat it with the tortilla chips. If you could only smell what it smells like here, holy cow, yum. So here's what we've got going on right now. Full of protein. You have that good for you chicken broth, especially if it's homemade. You know exactly what's in it. Nothing preservative wise that you're guessing why it's still sitting so stable on that shelf for so long. I usually make it with the rotisserie chicken bone and put it in the freezer for moments like this when I'm ready for a meal. I don't have to run out. I would say that looks like every bite will get some chicken. And then drain and rinse these beans. All those preservatives are gone. They're not sitting in any of their water. So we have rinsed, strained these white beans. We're gonna go ahead and pour them in. In the meantime, we're gonna smash a few of them just to give it a little creamier texture. So you could take, look how delicious that looks. One healthy ingredient that boosts this protein up a bit. Non-fat, plain Greek yogurt. We're gonna go ahead and add a 1/2 cup of that to this. It adds a little bit of creaminess. And like I said, it does bump up the protein in this dish. So if your children are eating it, you know that they've just consumed a really healthy meal. And last but not least, we're going to add about 3 ounces of cream cheese. Again, it gives it a little bit of a creamy consistency so that when you're ready to eat it, it is just silky smooth. And just cube up a few pieces of the cream cheese. And it will go ahead and melt once we have the heat coming from the crock pot. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn it on low, like I said, because this chicken is cooked. We will turn it on low for about 4 hours and be ready to taste this. So like I said, if you haven't gotten the chance, go out and get some tortilla chips, some avocado to top it with, cilantro. Any of those are delicious toppings. And of course, sour cream and cheddar cheese if you want at the end once you pour your bowl. Okay, to the crock pot we go. Set it on low. And we will check back in. Okay, everybody, I just took a couple scoops out to serve my son for his favorite meal. As you can see, the broth is sort of not as watery. If you'd like it to be thicker, you can add a little bit more yogurt, or cream cheese will thicken it up a little bit, or just mash some of these beans for thicker consistency. But you can see every bite is going to have that chicken, the corn, and the broth. So good. It is going to be so good. So toppings are, again, to your liking. Most common toppings are sour cream that we have here. We have some shredded cheddar cheese. You can also use cilantro, just a bit for flavoring. You can slice up some avocado and put it on top. Even take a squeeze of lime juice. Mix that in, that'll give it some flavor. So I just like to eat it, as does my son, with a little dollop of sour cream. And then, can never have too much cheese, but we'll just start with a little bit like that. And we can always add more. Are we ready to taste this? Oh, Cole, come take a bite. Here he comes. It's gonna be a little hot. Ready, buddy? 1, 2, 3. Take a bite and tell me how it is. How is it, Cole?
It's so good with the sour cream and with the cheese too to give it more flavor.
Do you love it?
It's so good.
We have a winner. How often do you hear that from an 8-year-old? Yay! Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Try it out yourself and let me know what you think. Bye!